Hey guys, how's it going? This is just a video of me talking about mining in general. If you guys are trying to get into mining, this video is just me ranting on about what my setup is, um, what's going on with mining, things like that. So in general, I don't know what the screen is recording right now, but I'm just gonna talk about mining. Um, I did record this, but I think my microphone is off, so I'm re-recording it. But while I'm recording, my mega hash is going to be down a bit because while I'm recording, I'm using the graphics card for more than one purpose. So this is my main computer, one I use for school, for mining, for gaming, for video editing, everything. Now, I don't do much video editing, but that's besides the point. So, if you guys are trying to get into mining, you guys know that the market's pretty crazy right now. I'm going to advise you to just get into it, you know, because at the moment profitability is still high. It's been high for the past close to 6 months. I got into this in March or April. It's been profitable actually more than a year, if I'm correct. I'm not too sure about that, but I remember when the 3080, 3090, all that came out. People were arguing about, oh, it's only $1 a day profit or whatever the case may be. Yes, that is low profitability, but it's still profitable. So, if you had bought these cards when they launched, you're well over your ROI, especially if you got the Nvidia Founders Edition cards, like the 3090 Founders Edition that was 1500, 3080 was 700, right? So, if you got those cards for that price back a year ago, you're definitely got your money back. You definitely made that back, and you're just making profit now. But for people that want to get into mining, there are different situations. Some people, uh, they just want to hold the coin. Some people want to sell and make profit, get US dollars. They want to get cash in their hands. Everyone's situation is different. For me, it's a little bit of both. I rather, hold as long as the coins are not too volatile. If you look at Bitcoin, it went up to like 52,000 yesterday. Today it's down to like 46. Now, that's people panic buying and selling, whatever. Uh, I don't do that anymore. It just doesn't make any sense to me. If you're going to get into this, you should really not be in that mindset that, oh, the price went down, let me get rid of everything. You're going to lose money if you do that. But that's besides the point. Um, if you're buying a gaming PC, maybe you don't even care about mining, but it came across your mind. You have a 3070, 3060, 3080, whatever, any new card, you should be mining on it. You will make a fair amount of profit on it, especially if you have free electricity. Now, I don't know how that works for some people, they have free electricity, but if you have electricity, right, you're not paying for that. Not saying like your mom pays for it or something like that. I'm talking about you get free electricity. That's that. Bottom line, I would mine on it because it just makes sense. Why wouldn't you? That's free money. That's free crypto. Um, it really wouldn't make sense for you not to. And people say, oh, but the cards aren't gonna last. Well, if you know what you're doing with the overclocking, maybe you don't know what you're doing, right? There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube on how to overclock your cards, undervolt them, make sure they're not running hot, they're using less wattage, less voltage. These cards will last you a lot longer than gaming cards will. Because I, for one, game. So whenever I'm playing GTA 5 or anything like that, I notice the voltage increase on this 3090. It goes to about 1.1 volts, maybe more, instead of point 0.8, point 0.9, whatever you want to undervolt it to. Like at anything under 1900, like 1.9 gigahertz, this card I could undervolt it quite a bit still not lose performance, and the card's definitely going to last longer. But obviously, if I'm doing extreme overclocking, this is my first water cooled build, custom water cooled, so I could really push it. If we look in my task manager, which I'm not going to bring up right now, but if I look at it, this CPU is always at 5 gigahertz. The voltage is a bit higher, but I don't really care about it. But if you want your cards to last, you're going to have to look into uh, overclocking them the proper way. Right now my GPU core temp's at 48C, and the memory temp's at 84 because I'm recording. Usually it's higher than that. But once the water block comes on, it's going to be a lot less than that. This card, hopefully, fingers crossed, it should last me as long as I need it to last. But I'm always getting the next best thing, so don't be surprised if I make a video on the 3090 Super if it releases. Uh, it's just the nature of technology and electronics. But back to what I was saying about mining. If you want to get into mining, just get into it, because about 5 years ago, 2016, maybe around there, the 1080 Ti released. I had no means of affording a graphics card like that, but I did end up getting one in around 2018, I think. But yeah, so the 1080 Ti, it's been a card that's lasted people a while, right? People are still using it today. They're still selling close to MSRP, and we're talking 5 years. So think of it in your head. iPhone. If your iPhone lasts more than 5 years, that's already crazy. But a graphics card, we always get new graphics card every year. So the 1050 Ti's are still selling new at Micro Center today. So those cards are $300. I got mine for like less than $150 years ago. So if you want to overpay for a computer, don't be too overwhelmed, because if you start mining now, you're most likely going to pay it off quick. Now, of course, Bitcoin and all these coins are volatile, Ethereum, everything, right? So I would just say, I know it's a risk, but you could take everything that I say as a grain of salt, but it's my experience. Um, I've been mining even when it wasn't profitable, just to see how it was. You don't have to mine when it's not profitable. You could shut off your rigs and just hold on to it until it is profitable, or you could sell it off and buy it again once it starts getting profitable. But you will end up spending more money that way. Now, if for example, you have a nice workstation, you have a Threadripper, something like that, and you want to get into mining, you want to hold your coins, that's also another thing you could do. Those processors probably make a couple dollars per day, a Threadripper, not an i7 or something like I have. I don't think those will make much, although I haven't tried. So please feel free to leave in the comments if you guys are into CPU mining, what the profitability is like on that, because I have no idea. I haven't tried it. But my mining rig, my actual mining rig, if I look at it, I have two 3080s, 3070, 3070 Ti, 3080 Ti, and this computer I have the 3090. And in Bitcoin, because I use NiceHash, I get paid around, I want to say, maybe closer to $40 a day. If I count electricity, I usually hold off 25% for electricity. Um, it's still a good amount of money for your needs. Maybe you want to hold all your crypto, take out only the amount you need for electricity, and go about it that way. Everyone has their choice. Everyone has their way of doing things. But when I got into mining, I didn't know the first thing I got into that was restricting me was not getting the cards, because sure, they were expensive, but I was at least able to buy them. But the electricity, not only the cost, but having enough power where I'm putting the mining rigs is very important, because I have right now I have a 30 amp 240 volt installed in my room. So I have the L630R if you guys want to refer to my older videos. Um, but before I didn't have that, so I was running into issues where I had to run extension cords and things that weren't safe. But if you are in a predicament where you only have a 15 amp 120 volt outlet in your house, you live in the United States like I do, then you're going to have to spend the money and get that electricity up, because right now I'm using around 1700 watts. If you're using less than 1500-ish, then I'm sure you're fine, but you will run into limits, especially because I always run my AC, so that does take a lot of power. So you guys have to account for all these things when you get into mining. Um, the cost of the cards, like cost of electricity. I think that's the main thing, the cost of the electricity, because if you're paying over, let's say, 30 cents per kilowatt, then you're most likely not going to be able to profit. You might profit a little bit, but it's hard to recommend when you are paying that much electrical costs. It's very hard to recommend you to get into mining when that's your case. Also, one main thing, if you don't know anything about technology and you're a hard learner, like you don't understand anything, you get taught it multiple times and you don't understand technology, I might stay away. It depends if you want to learn or not, because I've taught many people how to get into it and they just didn't understand it and they ended up having to sell their rigs. So, those are things to consider, guys. If you're not into technology, if you're not technically advanced, you don't understand how to overclock, how to fix computers, software. The biggest issues I've had were software, not hardware. So, figuring out how to fix these problems it's not easy. So, I would figure out everything you need first, make a plan. Where do you want to be in the next year or two? Not even, like, where do you want to be in a few months? So make plans, figure out if this is going to work for you. Don't spend money you don't have. That's the worst thing you could do. When I bought my 3080s, I spent money I didn't have, but it worked out for me. But that doesn't mean that you should, because it's very risky. So, take everything you do, figure out if it's gonna work for you or not. Just take a risk, guys. I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell everyone what to do with their money. That's their choice, but I'm telling you guys based off where I've been, and I'm basically just gonna end this video and say, if you guys are looking to get into mining, just do it. It's simple. There's a lot of videos, but you have to be eager to learn, and you got to try your heart out, because that's how it is. But if you guys enjoyed this video of me ranting, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe. I'll be making a lot more mining videos. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and peace out.